Guys, it's that time again. We get to listen to the Caveman. And I have a new microphone. Thank you, guys. Holy shit. We're gonna talk about red pill in relationships. And we're gonna talk about selling cancer as a cure for cancer. Does that make sense? That's a metaphor you can use somehow. Yes, you can sort of sell poison as a cure, but that doesn't happen really in society. Like, red pill happens to be an idea, not a lie, but he criticizes everything despite showing his relationship and just having a wife. This is not really a relatable man, all right? You're just old now. Just some background. I made 2 videos already, as he did, because reacting to his rants is better than making my own rants. You know, that's first of all, because we can tear up a person who's less experienced in actually, like, even thinking about ideas than I am, even though I'm pretty young. But that doesn't, like, stop me from getting more experience at certain things. You must understand. He has maybe more overall experience, but he has to bring it to the main frame where it's applied in every direction. Instead, he just focused on Christianity and attacking Christianity. If you just focus on negative things or breaking down ideas instead of actually building your own stuff, like, I don't think I have any respect for a person like that. But you can try and rant, and I'll just tear you apart. Just like I do with this guy. Easy, guys. Hey, babe. Shit. Now you might ask, what is my experience in relationships? This is technically not something you need to flex. Of like, I have this many girlfriends or this many friends in general. I don't need to flex that. In fact, every communication I try to always falls apart, but I care very, very much to try and hold it together. Not because I'm a control freak. I'm just like unacceptable person in a way. And all I see on the internet, I've tried many things, and all that happens is silence. No one actually uses a principle of like, try to hold a conversation and say goodbye when it's done. You know, that's it. No one actually jumps in on my Discord that easily just to have a conversation. There was just one person that now has to be isolated for being empty. For being so empty and useless, basically. It's still a young person, so I have my hopes up that he will learn better. In fact, the only 2 people that talked to me were young, so it's a weird pattern. At least significantly younger than me or lower generation than me. This is the stuff I observed. I try to talk to like 1,000 people now at this point. And it's so demotivating to me. Because this is the first step, right? Like, if I open up a Tinder account, just put up some pictures, can we talk now? Are we gonna have a conversation? Is the first thing I look for is the base principles are still intact, and they're not. They're not intact. In fact, I probably live in the shadows because they're not intact. Because I fell through the floor, or my mom did. Fell through the gap in society of like, everyone is busy and nobody actually cares about each other. And we kind of force relationships these days. And red pill technically is a way to go to the shadows. Because I know the real way to actually get girls is to not take girls. Because they're worthless. The best thing you can get is like things, pixels on your screen, a projection of a girl. Build a girl, basically, yourself. Because you You get all sorts of porn categories. You can watch those for days and days. Like, what else do you need, bro? And people can say it's pathetic, you're not building relationships. Yes, I'm not. Why? Why is that? Why nobody cares about me? You know? Why is that? Now you have to put reasons upon reasons, at least 10 reasons of why people have rejected me so badly that I can't even talk to a girl. I can't even receive criticisms from girls of like how terrible of a human being I am. The only time I can do that is I go outside and everyone looks at my appearance as if my appearance is supposed to showcase what kind of person I am. Fucking bullshit that is. It's bullshit. I can't really explain what that is. I try to explore the shadow realm, the normie realm, and the popular kids realm a little bit in a previous video, but like, I'm so confused. Honestly, I feel like drained out a little bit. I'm not sure what this mood is all about, but maybe this guy is gonna help me and everyone else to learn more about relationships, right? And not make fool of himself, like literally everyone else who thinks they have an opinion on things. Yeah, unfortunately, either you don't have opinions because you're a normie, or you're a celebrity or a big influencer that received so much attention that your opinions are just to create noise, create a bunch of noise, create a bunch of division and confusion, and whatever work he put into this video is yet again gonna be debunked. But at least he's going somewhere. So I'm gonna be like, oh, if you pick that up, it will explode in your hand, leave a bunch of bruises, and you will suffer from COVID on every weekend. All right, you know, just don't start a pandemic when you're suffering, my friends. Don't spread your disease just because you have a platform. This is something to keep in mind, guys. You found this video. I live in shadows. I can do whatever I want because I don't influence people. But when you do influence people, your life should be very carefully crafted. And or if the chair is too hot, then give it to someone else. Give the spotlight to someone else. You have to give it up. And right now, this is at least a great opportunity for me to steal the spotlight if I want to. You know, if the war starts, I mean, we'll have to share the spotlight of like, oh, he's going to be like, oh, you think you can live in the spotlight? Oh, what about this and that and this for those? He has power, but if he's going to keep on making mistakes, I mean, he's going to lose everything, and I'll just pick it up from the ground. I won't even need to fight these people, you know. So and there's tons and tons of examples like this. This guy is not like an exceptional creature of any kind. I call him the caveman because he stepped into the light and now he wants to ramble for hours. At least he prepared a script for that, you know. At least he did something. He's known for doing animations, and it's so weird that his 1 hour video is a little bit lower effort than what animation it takes. Because for me, making 1 hour video is just me sitting down and farting for 1 hour. Technically for 3 hours. Alright, I take a little bit of a break. I put things down. I have to like collect materials. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer because the materials, like, I have to like watch 10 videos, 20 minutes long or something. So of course it takes a little bit longer for that 1 hour video. But yeah, I have my frustrations. And the funny thing is, when you have frustrations and you have a platform of a lot of people watching and reacting and giving comments, commenting on your stuff, now you have to react to their stuff and compile their reaction. Go to level 2. You can do that very easily. You can upgrade your opinions as well based on just what people have to say, but people don't got to say nothing these days. So everything is so confusing, you know. At least it's not the way that I want. Well, I guess we're just playing Hearthstone again, which is called Random Things Happen, and I have to deal with it. So yeah, I don't really know what Red Pill is about. The funny meme I made is like, you don't need a pill, alright? Honestly, you don't need a pill. It's either you take pills or you don't take pills. You take people's advices or you make your own game, basically. But there are patterns of behavior that are, like, logically useful, alright? And right now, for me, I can't pursue women. You don't have to take it as advice. I just literally can't pursue women because they're so toxic. Everyone's toxic to me from my perspective because, like, I have opinions. I have power. Somehow, they want power. They don't want power from me because even though it's free, like, just be my friend. And no, I can't do that. I can't connect to a shadow person. It's like, oh, okay, that's not how life works. You don't get to decide these things. Like, if you have an opportunity, you have to take the opportunity. Otherwise, you're a loser. You're just doing your little thing, and it works for a certain amount of time. Everyone's advice works for a certain amount of time, and then it stops because people figure out how to counter it or even abuse it. It's crazy. So you always have to keep in mind to improve constantly. Is the only advice that you can give in this case that would work. The idea that advices suck and you have to improve constantly, so you have to keep getting new advices if that's what you're looking for. But it's best to just craft your own, because it's easier to grow your own garden than someone else's, ideas and seeds or whatever. But it's kind of the same thing, right? It doesn't matter where you get the ideas. It matters if it works out in the end. But let's see what Dark Matter has to say. I have primed myself, alright, with ideas. I've given you some ideas of how I think. It's impossible to give all the material in my brain because I talk for hours and hours and I can't stop. But let's see what this guy has prepared. What kind of meal, of ideas. Because everything can be broken down, especially if you have no way to respond to me. If we have no ways to communicate. That's another thing. Again, communication starts first, and if I can't do that, we literally can't build anything that resembles a relationship. Alright? Like, I should be able to demand a spotlight whenever I want. I should be able to demand a connection whenever I want. But I literally don't know how to do that. I just don't know. Like, people don't communicate on the internet, and I need advice. I just need to get to that level of advice of, like, what can we do on the internet, and how do I translate myself into the real world, and how do I have to approach strangers now? That's another question, right? That people have to ask, like, should I approach strangers? Does that make any fucking sense? Right? You definitely can't gossip about strangers. Unfortunately, that's another thing that people try to do, and it's stupid. At least the younger generation. They think gossip is completely fine. But the reality is, the more you gossip, the more powers you leak. Because you're just trying to cope with the existence of another person. I go outside and, I hear people talk shit, right? Mostly women, men would just shut the fuck up, but men would do something different. Right now, there's a honking sound anytime someone passes through this fucking corner of where I live. And it's like, what the fuck is that? And this is a manly way to piss me off, basically. It's the most annoying thing. Is like, someone knows what they're doing, and it has to be directed to me because there's no coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence, especially when you have so much power. I don't see coincidence anymore. I'm just blind to that because I focus on things that all kind of domino effects, karmic effects, and very, very fast ones too, where people immediately try to bounce the ball back to you, bounce the blame, bounce bad feelings. They're trying to like keep me in the shadows as best as they can, and it looks like a pathetic type of effort when I actually observe it. It is crazy, bro. All right, I think we're done with my ideas. Never downgrade things, or I never say it's a rant, it's a ramble. I like this guy's stuff, alright? I react not out of spite. I'm just here to destroy his reputation by taking a little bit of a cut, you know. Just reacting to his stuff and having better ideas means that I deserve a little bit of attention too. But if people, if people want to cope with that and can't handle the reality that, yes, Spotlight can actually hold more than one person, especially so up close to the goddamn screen that we had to sit here for 15 minutes and stare at it. Where's the projection of my face, Funny enough, I just received a comment, and the reason why I say projection is like, it's crazy. Everything is backwards, and here's why. Stop projecting, broski. Obviously, it's not a serious thing, but it's how people feel. It's, first of all, they collude with each other. They try to attack the shadows. It's the ego, at work. Ego tells normies that they can just manipulate the shadows, even though it's like, what's the point, right? That they have all the popular people in place. That popular people have no flaws and cannot be improved or replaced. So that everything is in place right now. Nobody has to move. And no one needs opinions, because nothing has to move, nothing has to change. But after the pandemic, we're slowly diving into the world of where things have to actually change. This is actually, an extension of the previous video, it seems like. Because I still have unexplained stuff in my mind. But yeah, stop projecting. Why? You didn't give me a reason. Now I'll project more. Because clearly you have no ways to stop me. The only thing that can stop me is reasoning. Is being reasonable. Not evil. Not Darth Vader. His projection. He's projecting Darth Vader, a person with a lot of power, but no force apparently. Zero force. He's just stopped projecting. He barely forced himself to type in a few letters on the keyboard. Pressed a few buttons here and there. He did it. I mean, that's admirable behavior, but I don't think that's powerful. So his projection sucks balls. So I would say the same thing to him. But what he's trying to stop me from doing is stop projecting from against influential people. I'm like, I don't care about influential people that much. All right. They have content, but it's not like we collectively gonna watch all the content, right? And I'm like trying to assimilate with normies a little bit, trying to get to their level because their level is higher than shadows, than being alone. I don't want to be alone all the time. I want to try and improve, especially as I grow older. So, yeah, relationships is a very important topic to me. But everything above my level, it seems like it becomes more and more toxic. So not only I have to improve, but I also have to fight against toxic and degenerate people, basically, who want to keep their powers, but they're slowly just diving into insanity, you know? So you must understand, this is not a coincidence that this guy is coming out of a cave. Something is going on. He is uncomfortable with the amount of opinions he has collected, and he wants to share it with everyone else. But it also makes him weaker. But if I react to him, we might at least be friends in the end. At least. And that's pretty good outcome, I would say. Yeah, the sky will start falling. Prepare, open up your hands, alright? As if you're catching something, because you never know when you're gonna catch a fucking hot celebrity. That's the red pill you need. Literally, I'm trying to catch a celebrity because I know the world is just falling apart. Like, Ari is like falling apart herself. Like the things that she's projecting, like it's like, what you ugly now? What's going on? What, you Asian fishing? What does that mean? Where's your hair? You were on antidepressants and now you're not? And now you look worse? You're off the pill, so to speak, and you haven't found a replacement? But at least she says she's happy, and I will completely trust her, because I have nothing else to work with. She's not making rants, unfortunately. So maybe it's about to happen eventually. But it is what it is. Now I have to work with this guy. And, the ugly ones fall first. Let's put it that way. I mean, the biggest celebrities, you think they're gonna fall? The first ones to fall? But yeah, this is what's going on, You must understand, this is not a coincidence that after the pandemic and now inflation, we have influencers doing weird things, I would say. Most importantly, just doing weird things. They have been disrupted significantly since those bad days. And from my perspective, I am growing really fast because they're being disrupted, and I'm like, I can get in their place. The way I found myself making YouTube videos, and what inspired me the most, is the fall of YouTube Rewind. Is the idea that I have this empty slot of insane power. If I take over YouTube Rewind, I basically rule the entirety of YouTube, because I simply have to collect ideas from all across YouTube, as big of a variety of ideas as possible, and outcompete everyone else who's trying to make YouTube Rewind a thing of their own. That's it. Those two things, if I do that, and if I'm competent enough, and if I want more things than just YouTube Rewind, if I want to actually be friends with everyone around me that I collect, then potentially I'll be the third person. PewDiePie, Mr. Beast, and then, this Earth person that has tremendous amount of power and was able to escape way darker places than most people realize. Like, PewDiePie was kind of steadily growing. He didn't understood the process of why that was the case, but it just happened, right? Well, Mr. Beast had a formula, but I have to have strategies upon strategies, man, and greatest ideas to be able to get to their level, basically. So you must understand who you're listening to as well. I had to give extra background noise. Alright, now let's react to this garbage. but at least it's entertaining. For me, at least it's personally entertaining for me. So I can't call it garbage from my perspective, but it is garbage the way I'm projecting it onto you, because you guys won't be able to understand either how to defend this man, or you will understand that whatever this guy is making usually ends up falling flat. He actually doesn't have the black background with a bunch of information, but he shows clips. That's the usual thing. That's what I do. It's a thing. I can agree with that strategy as well. All right, I'm gonna chill for 1 hour and see what he has to say. Oh, my favorite argument of why I don't have friends usually ends up as like, you don't have money because you don't have money. You don't have friends because you don't have friends. Woman is a woman, and this is a caveman. This is my argument, by the way. This is a caveman. Because I use their arguments against them. It's like, well, if I can define things as whatever I want, if reason is whatever I believe, but usually when people try to find a reason or a definition, they just use the same definition of like, it's self-explanatory. It's in the realm of feelings. You can feel the definition. And that's not how definitions work. That's not how reasoning works. Reason is just explaining. It's not that difficult for me personally. But it's like, it's like, oh, you're toxic to me. That's why you don't have friends. And it's like, no, friendship is not about whether I'm toxic or not. I don't even know if I'm toxic if I don't have friends. How will I know? Yes, you don't like me personally. That doesn't mean that I'm not supposed to have friends. That's supposed to be impossible for me. It doesn't matter what kind of personality I have. There's so many more even fucking criminals can be friends with each other. That is not an actual fucking reason for me not to have friends. Double check your privilege, my friend. Holy crap. So everyone is going to be silent to me, but when the criminal shows up, when some black little child shows up and starts doing criminal activity for TikToks, then everyone fucking talks about that person. This is the fucking degenerate bullshit that we have to deal with on YouTube. I get no attention for trying to educate people, but when there's the emotional education going on, the sort of a porn translation into YouTube videos, everything that's legal that is not porn or sexual, if you can translate it into YouTube videos, or everything that is porn, but you just have to translate it so it looks legal, it's still emotional manipulation basically. But it's so frustrating to receive that from my former friends that, oh, you're so toxic that you're not supposed to have friends. That's why nobody cares about you. They use this fucking argument, right? And it makes no sense. That's not why. That's not why people don't want to be with me. People don't want to be with me because they don't see benefits. They're just fucking greedy. And I'm poor. That's it. That's the whole fucking story. Try to debunk this kind of story. Alright? It's a very basic one. Everyone is trying to, gain as much money as possible, as much wealth as possible, ignoring the fact that it creates a problem of if everyone wants wealth, if everyone is greedy, inflation happens, and the winners win because capitalism is a never-ending competition, where only 1% gets everything. If we allow capitalism to flourish, this is what's gonna happen, Alright, so I 30 minutes of introduction before we even dive into the video. This is how much it triggers me to just look at his face and know that a rant is about to occur about relationships. But I had to prime you guys with some crazy stuff that I have to suffer through. I have to suffer through these ideas, you know, every day in the shadows. And people think that I will collapse in this weight. That they just have to wait. They just have to wait in silence. And bad things are going to happen only to me and not to them. But, like, don't worry about it. I don't always rant. I also go to dates with celebrities, even if it's imaginary. It's in my brain, though. I mean, why dreams happen? Why do I feel so elevated when a celebrity shows up in my dreams? It's programming. It's self-programming. It's more powerful programming. In the dream world, the programming is really, really powerful because you can't control dreams. You just can't be 100% lucid. Maybe 5% on average you can be lucid, but everything else dream just delivers to you. You have no control overall. And I can't just summon a celebrity. So it just happens and I'm like catching up all these vibes. Like, why are you here? What's going on? This is crazy. And I've seen crazy things, guys. I have seen and experienced crazy things in dreams. And it usually comes in forms of relationships too. So that's another experience that I have. You know. Alright, so let's see what you have collected, Mr. Dark Matter. Across all these years. If you're not collecting things, you have no experience whatsoever to actually offer. You can flex that you have a wife, that you're gonna die with your wife. It doesn't intimidate me, unfortunately. It doesn't sound very fun if you just say, oh, well, I'll probably just gonna have one relationship and carry it until my dying breath, basically. I mean, I don't care. He's also too old to be super influential at this point. But I will take his wisdom for free. No problem. Let's begin. I'll keep playing my card game in the background. Also, a quick reminder, I lost a long-time subscriber of my channel because I criticized this dude. I don't care. I can lose anything. I want to express my opinion really badly, but what is the consequence of that, of like losing relationships as well? Can you imagine like your opinion gets in the way of relationships? How does that make sense? It does make a little bit of sense. In order to build relationships, you have to go with the flow. But if there's just two people, you can still be in the shadows, both of you guys can be celebrities, technically. Nothing can stand in your way if whatever you want to do. If it's true love, it probably can be any amount of people. You know, in the shadows you can make criminal gangs. In the normie world you just build businesses, I guess, workplaces, or communities of other kind. And in the celebrity world, I don't know what you build. Fucking secret societies? Because you have so much power. Maybe you just build the government at this point.
I tell them that.
I'm not exactly sure what's going on at the start of the video. And why he relates to all these people and their opinions. And how he came to that position where he has to interact with that. But I call him a caveman, and it's still justified because he brings up God all the time. Like, that's all he cares about. But he attacks God. This dark matter dude, he wants to attack God as his lifestyle choice, as a thing he does for his channel over and over again. Never-ending thing. When the concept of God, I explained, is someone that's 100 times more powerful than you. That's God to you. Alright, you have to bow down to a person who's 100 times more powerful. Why you have to do that? Because you will die if you don't. That's God to you. That's the definition of God. You don't need more definitions than that, unfortunately. Alright? Suck it up.
Single, longest relationship, about a year and a half.
Recently single, longest relationship, 4 years, 5 years?
Look,
You have to endure.
Married.
Well, I'm single forever, never had a relationship. I don't know what that is, and how you get one besides trying to look as clean as possible and approaching as many people as possible, and having this person in the background who looks like a fucking meme. What the fuck is going on? He's right. These are terrible people to give relationship advice. Because they don't care. They just don't care that much. They have sort of achieved what they want. And what they want is like sit in a podcast and bitch about stuff. I achieved my version of that too. No big deal. It's just who's doing it better. Right? And I want to have relationships, and I thought about it so many times, and that's why I have actual experience about relationships, because I want it so badly, but I can't get it. You know, I have an understanding of like what people want and what people are repulsed by, and you cannot build a relationship over the internet. Oh my god. That's fun, I guess. I can't even clear both me. What the fuck?
And what do you really have left? These guys are so weak and lack so much confidence that they think they have to entrap women rather than attract them. They don't want.
I think they don't lack confidence. I think that's where they want to spend confidence, and that's why they're so popular right now. Because trap culture is also a thing, you know, which is very scary. As we dive into the darkness, as the day goes to a night, the idea of trapping people, especially when in terms of crisis, imagine like pandemic keeps happening, you want to be with a person that you can trap in your home, so you're not lonely. First of all, for your own benefit, but also you can leech off that from that person, especially if your chemistry overwhelms the other person. If you could take advantage of that person more often, it's kind of crazy stuff. The reason why it's so apparent that this is the most stupidest thing, well, podcasts are stupid. This is not a projection, a great projection of ideas, and usually it's just vomiting. Basically, it's a nut. You can call it actual rant, especially if there's just a bunch of people talking and just vomiting ideas that they have experienced and stuff. The reason why I say that is that they're successful. They have nothing to complain about. They have no reason to actually worry about relationships. So something else is going on. Some more abusive and menacing or trappy behavior is going on. Especially when you sit next to a blue hedgehog, I don't think you have great opinions to offer. Because I would be distracted. I would want to touch that shit all the time. I would want to steal his cup. I want to talk into his microphone. Jesus, just for fame, man. But instead, something else is going on. Like the shut down of like just interactive behavior. Like this is fucking stupid. This is a cult basically mentality. Like you're just sitting there in the boring state. Like it would be too boring for me to go to a podcast, unfortunately. Kicked out. Look at that. And I just hate Destiny in general, so Dark Matter gotta be cancelled for giving Destiny some screen time. What the fuck? Also, let's not forget the idea of Destiny being the stupidest name ever. Just like Dream is a pretty stupid name, right? But these people are popular with stupid names. And this stuff actually is more common than you think. Where it's so annoying to have people like that. where they play with their name as if they are defining something new entirely about the definition that we have established. What does destiny have to do with destiny? You know, now is a big question all of a sudden. You can ask why what does dream has to do with dreams? Because he's turning into a nightmare? Is that what's going on? By revealing his face, he's gonna haunt your dreams? What's going on, right? The moment you name yourself as a word, we have a problem. Alright? So not only is a blue hedgehog sitting there like a black hole basically. I feel like red and blue lights are taking me away, man. I'm being trapped in this hole of garbage. I mean, she seems non-white. Let's put it that way. Interesting. Am I right? I'm being distracted already. I just look into the screen. This is what normies do. They look different from each other. Okay, celebrities, rather. They look so different. It's like, you put them together, I'm like surprised that they can even talk to each other properly. But that's another nature of like being completely isolated from criticism and judgment. And they don't actually allow haters to speak their mind as well. So what kind of talk is that, right? They're just talking amongst themselves. They have agreed on everything. That's why they're here, you know. And technically, you can make women and men talk to each other and fight, basically. But guess what's gonna happen next? This is a relationship building block of just like being in the same room. Like there's so much tension going on that is disgusting to look at. Like you can snap fingers and it turns into an orgy immediately, especially again because of how much blue hedgehog energy there is in that room. It's too easy. I mean, I've seen Sonic hentai. It's pretty good stuff. Actually, it's pretty terrible because I hate Destiny, and actually I don't watch Sonic hentai. It's like actually the worst category out of 4 categories. What is it? Pokemon, Digimon, and then My Little Pony. Okay, Sonic can't even beat My Little Pony. Alright? You're the loser of the gang. Oh my god. You know what's Destiny's destiny? Is to go fast. Well, what's that thing, Sonic? Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast, man. Yeah. I hope you're not scared, Destiny. Cause you have that ability to go fast when bad things happen, you know.
Is to cry out that society is the problem. They don't need to change. The world does. So in a lot of these successful red pill podcasts, you'll see the hosts treat women like shit, and that appeals to the rejected men in their audience.
You sound like
I mean, shitty men will treat women like shit. And there's a lot of women that are shit, if that's all you can get. I mean, it's kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. But, what is it, right? Like, strategy behind trashing women and blaming society and all that stuff. The idea is, I found by doing my work and essentially making the Tinder video, the most recent thing about Tinder, you should check it out. It's an idea that you have to pursue the best of the best first and foremost. You are rejected because people are just insecure. And the way to break that down is to just pursue the best of the best, the least insecure people out there, you know. It's still not really obvious who those people are, but it's a good place to start, absolutely, because they will always give you something to look at, to attract you with. It could be a trap, but only if other people come into play, you know. it could just be a bait. But until you get to that point where you are suspicious of something, or you have to invest money into something, you're completely safe to just admire the process of getting closer to know a person. That's it. It's just very simple stuff. So, this is why I really enjoyed my Tinder experience, I would say. Because I figured out exactly the way to do it, right? Like, I'm not supposed to, like, focus on... Wait, I want to clear the board, guys. I want to focus on clearing the board. I'm not supposed to focus on rejection, which I receive too often, right? You're not supposed to focus on the bad stuff that happens. You will always be tricked that way. It's the easiest thing to fall for. You know? Just negativity in general. And trying to fight back against negativity over and over and over again. It's not gonna solve anything.
I'm trying to figure out why you rated me a 2 because we're not going off our interactions. We're going off beauty.
I don't like light skin.
I don't give a. He's light skinned just like me, and you just gave him a 9.
Yeah, that's a cool clip because it's just a shit show of shitty people shitting on each other. When you soak up so much negativity, you're just a lower quality person. Like, you're terrible. I haven't had relationships. I don't know how powerful I am, and society doesn't know how powerful I am. We may never know, if we'll never try, you know, and I will actually encourage people not to put me into a test because I'll take the best of the best, thank you very much. I will just take it, snatch it, with my powers. Because I'll just keep accumulating stuff until I'm 40 or something, until I'm losing my powers. Then I'll be a little bit desperate. But you also not supposed to be like desperate, right? Because that is the most self-destructive thing. Everyone makes fun of desperate people these days. So you gotta be careful with that. You gotta know what you're doing and what your strategy is. Basically, I actually have nothing to hate about Dark Matter. He's successfully blaming other people. Alright, successfully. This is how you do it. Yeah, but it has nothing to do with him. And I'm not sure what his frustration is. He is married quite well. So I guess he is talking from a position of authority, finally, when he's handling real people now. But at the same time, are these real people? Are they actually influential? I don't know, man. I might dream about blue hedgehogs tonight.
Graham.
One thing that every single person is missing, if you're an influential person, you have to do music. You have to do a few music tracks. The most memorable and actually admirable thing about Andrew Tate is that he has a song. Maybe even 2. But like, he has music. He cared about it. You know, he was inspired to do something like that. And it's like, it's a vibey thing. If you can vibe with someone, it's the most admirable thing that you can do. And this is why I'm so attracted by all these celebrities that just put out clusters of music. I really need that stuff sometimes. So just sitting there and shitting your opinions. I want to do music too. I have good voice. But yeah, you have to do that. Most importantly, if you want to be influential, do music. Because it's the easiest, most influential thing you can do. You don't even need a crazy-ass music video. But you need a music video to amplify, you know, the vibes. The idea behind what you're trying to explain to people, because they need visuals too. You know.
Get those women, you don't have no access to them.
You can feel the idea that they don't understand that fact, that you need music to convey some messages, and some messages have to be punched into you, and some messages spiritually, obviously. And some messages have to be, you know, soothed into you over time. A big chunk of like 2-hour videos. For me, I have to soothe people first, and then I can punch them and rob them of their valuables, I think. Like, even if I make music, it's a lot of effort, though. Even with AI technologies, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I would love to do it. It would enrich my channel, absolutely. But I probably would want to do a separate channel for that, and I probably want to offload a lot of music, or even do a completely different style of it. But I don't know. If you point a camera at me and like I can't. I don't know where to start, to be honest, when it comes to music. It feels like, yeah, it feels like this, right? I can put together a good thumbnail, but when it comes to music, all I'm doing is like doing this, right? Just drawing things, and it looks fucking ugly. All right, what can I draw with just scribbling around with a paintbrush? It's very difficult, right? So you need to learn certain patterns of how to make your work significantly easier and more enjoyable, because like if you can just put together a thumbnail like this, like I can't draw it. It's impossible to draw it. You have to put it together, stitch it together, basically. So I need like a voice modulator to change my voice a little bit. I need to get music in the background. I need to be able to slightly manipulate the music and stitch things together to have creative abilities. Like I'm not complaining. I'm just saying what I need. Maybe one day I'll be able to make music too and project my thoughts in a more, powerful way. And technically my friends can sort of help me out with that one, but they don't seem to be influential themselves, so I have very big doubts that they'll be able to, give me anything valuable. They might want to try, though. They might be excited about it. At least one of them is a musician or two. And it's kind of interesting. But they, like, create some weird music, and they're into weird music that I don't really like. Like, I like pop songs because they're just very simple and straightforward. And kind of beautiful at the same time. Like, you can't look at more modern women and say that they're like super ugly. They're trying to project pretty beautiful versions of themselves. I have no complaints about that. I just don't see the substance within, and sometimes that beautiful version becomes ugly when other women become insecure about it, about how they look. There's so many beautiful women being projected, so there's a lot of women that become insecure of knowing that they cannot keep up, and it's painful to know that, and we have to fight back against this terrible thing. Because not only it creates insecure women, but then women can't actually like even make proper moves in life. They just soaking up negativity as well. So if you want to make a relationship, basically save an insecure woman from herself. If she looks somewhat attractive, if she has seemingly something to offer and doesn't act like a fucking monster with all this negativity surrounding her, you can try and save her from herself and from all the negative thoughts. But you need to know how to do that yourself. Like, saving someone is like having doctor's skills, right? Like, it's tough stuff. Like, you have to know psychology and all these things, but you can train yourself to do it. That's why we have so much time on our hands to begin with.
Sexual market value.
I just realized another human behavior, another human trait that is so detrimental to them. If someone criticized me, you wouldn't know what the outcome is. I wouldn't just defend myself 100%. It's not the point. But usually people attack 100% of the time, or people do something 100% of the time. If they started asking a bunch of questions, they will never stop asking questions. It's the dumbest thing ever. If they started ranting and attacking you and disliking you, they will never stop disliking you. They go into one type of behavior pattern, and it's the most disturbing thing. It's like a pure little colored crystal, except it's one type of color shit. You know, and you know it's just the same shit all over. If you ask someone, you get the same shit. So if your behavior is like bad, unfortunately, the moment you establish expectation that you're gonna give me the same thing that is bad and bad over and over again, you just lose all your reputation, or you should. Luckily for people, on the internet they can be anonymous. They can just have private Instagram profiles too. They can do whatever they want technically and not actually invest. And I'm actually like confused. If they don't have to invest on the internet, they don't really have to invest into the real world either. Because it's kind of like the same thing, right? The internet's supposed to just suck in 10% of the behavior that happens in the real world. If internet is like not popular enough. But it looks like it sucks in the anonymous behavior of people's insecurities, only negative stuff, and it makes me question of like, what's going on? Like, are you scared of the internet, or you don't know how to use it, or is that all you are? Is that all you are? Is that the first step you're supposed to be making, is like looking ugly and stuff? I don't think that's what I did. The first thing I did is on YouTube is just work on AdventureCraft, a Minecraft mod. I just worked. That's it. That's the first thing I did on YouTube. Worked. And I never stopped, really.
Oh, goddamn,
And you know what's going on with my life. I work because that's the best way to create a variety in my life when there's so much darkness and negativity around me. I just work. I just try to survive. And I can project that onto other people, that I'm constantly struggling, especially with the amount of thoughts and opinions I have, and the things that I see are not very satisfying when it comes to, you know, how men interact with each other. You know, I only have opinions because there's a lot of things to break down and to counteract, basically. And there's a lot of things I disagree with, and I'm suspicious about it. And this thing is actually rising. And it's another way to, you know, rise in power is just to deny other people's power. Just disagree in general. Create conflict. But you also need to know how to resolve conflict. The moment I will get a lot of attention, I have to actually question myself how to use can I use this attention? The more the attention becomes useful, I have to tone down everything. I have to actually appreciate everyone's contribution, you know. But until it becomes useful, I can do whatever the fuck I want, even till my last breath of not being able to use attention, because it's all like negative, or people are suspicious of me as this newbie on the internet, whatever, right?
They're constantly rating people on a scale of 1 to 10, like a media critic.
Ask everyone to rate their looks on.
It's possible to do that, but if you just focus on rating from 1 to 10, you're missing the point. The point is actually collecting points, building a relationship. The point is not to evaluate a person as a finished building, a finished structure. No, you have to put your input. People are supposed to drop on number 5. You know, number 5 is the perfection. That's what you're looking for if you're scaling from 1 to 10. A number 5, where a person is not perfect, not full of themselves, all right? But they're also not low-quality person. You can pick them up, you can have a relationship, you can talk to them, you can have all the basic interactions, and have a life with that person. Perfection. 5 is a perfection, by the way. And so yeah, with every scale, you're trying to find the balance. It's very interesting.
I'm gonna rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10 really quick.
We're gonna rate each other off beauty alone, not off personality. From 1 to 10, 10 means you're a supermodel, 1 means you're butt ugly, 5 means you're.
No, that's not a very creative way to do it. Out of beauty alone, that's kind of stupid. You have to be able to present yourself like in a talent show. You have to be able to transcend your appearance a little bit more. Because this is stupid. But this guy's stupid. This guy came off as really fucking dumbass. That I don't want to interact with or even know a name of.
Woman who has a large body count than a woman looking
Certainly.
at a man who has a large body count.
Certainly.
What's the body count?
What is the body count? What's the body count? What's the body?
This gets scary really quickly when you assimilate body count with death. And it's too easy. It's just so easy. When it comes to vibes, you try to avoid stuff like that, but they're trying to exaggerate the experience to the point where it is, you know, turning into that definition. But the funny thing is, if it's defined as close to death as possible, and sexual, you know, intercourse, let's put it that way, is ridiculously high level thing in most people's lives. It's a great ass experience that you're not supposed to fuck around with. You know, you have to understand at very least what happens when you're sexually active. You need to understand what happens. If you don't understand what happens, if you just call it body count, and if you're straightforward with it, this is a stab to a lot of people's, you know, into a lot of people's feelings, at least. But it could be just traumatic experience at this point. Just hearing the word body count, like, geez, it can easily be traumatic. So these people are just idiots, man. Holy shit. You can vomit on them as much as you want, Mr. Caveman. I totally agree. You did a good job this time. But you better be careful. My body count is, I think I touched a woman's hand. That's my body count. I think I have a touch of a hand. Alright. And it's a good place to start, to question, like, no, maybe not, maybe sex time, sexy time. How long have you have sex for? How many times you had sex for? I would understand that. But body count is like, you just picked up a body, had fun with it, and you just went to the next one. It actually objectifies humans in general. And that's fucking dumbass a move. Absolutely. Holy shit. Not only we objectified women, now we objectified sex and interactions in general. Fuck this bullshit, man. These people have to be bombed, man. I know I'm being negative. Bomb them. Bomb them with negativity. Figure out your definition. Alright? Figure out a legal definition of things. But still goddamn destroy these idiots for having such stupid ideas. Alright, Caveman. At least that one thing he has, alright, is marriage. It's a sacred thing for him. I can feel it, alright? That's sentimental, yeah.
Do what they do out of love.
They do it out of expectation. That's inauthentic at best and manipulative at worst.
When you act like a nice guy who's always trying to appease a woman, you deprive her of her innate desire to relax in your presence.
Instead of letting
Yeah, relax in your presence. You only do that when it's sexual charged, am I right? It's toxicity is everywhere, and honestly, you have to wait. You have to wait patiently until these idiots become desperate for actual, understanding of how life works. To be able to actually control life properly. But the more people are being pushed to express their opinions, the more likely there are to make terrible mistakes. This is why it's my territory, basically. And I'm salivating over what's happening right now. And what will keep happening in the future. Of these idiots basically projecting themselves on TikTok. And they think they have opinions because you just have to squeeze your opinion into a 2-minute format. You don't have to overextend. You just have to project. But things are going to get a lot worse when, weird things happen. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. I can't give you a prognosis of what weather you're going to have tomorrow. I just know it's going to get worse and worse based on all the observations I know. And attacking nice guys, I mean, it's a sexual projection, right? Stop being a nice guy. Start, doing that thing with me. That's the only time you can attack nice guys as a woman, is if you're just deprived, You want to increase your body count. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck. Like, they're criticizing nice guys for having hidden intentions, bad intentions, But, yeah, I've heard that before. Alright, I don't really have bad intentions. I do want to take revenge on people that were terrible to me. And the way you take revenge is slowly escalate negativity onto them and seeing what happens. Do they accept negativity or do they like it? Do they just stay in silence like idiots? Now that the tables have flipped, they think that my strategy of being silent at school worked for me. Alright, let's keep going. Because I can take my revenge, but if we get older, you can't grow anymore fast enough to be able to overpower people that hurt you in the past. I can do that right now. I'm in the prime mode to take revenge onto people, and I'm actually actively doing that. And you cannot call me a nice person anymore. So that's cool. Yeah, I don't like niceness, especially when it's like toxic niceness of like people being fake. But as a woman, you should be able to break that down. Chivalry and what? Shut the fuck up. Chivalry actually sounds like a terrible. Just as stupid as niceness. Actually, I don't see a difference within my feelings, at least. Chivalry. I don't know, man. Being actually like a helpful person, actually moral and virtuous, that's pretty nice. That's actually nice. But forcing niceness, yeah. Forcing niceness is never a good idea, I would say. It has to come out naturally, naturally. But women can always mix it up of like, is this nice person because it's natural, or is he just projecting niceness? You never know. You have to dive in and figure it out. You just have to dive in and ask a lot of questions, or see how he lives his life, see his principles. You will never know. That's the fun part of relationships. Holy Jesus, this guy got copyright striked for a TikTok, for a YouTube short or something. What the fuck? Copyright claim, not strike. It's actually quite different thing. Copyright strike is quite scary, actually. But this is so crazy. Like, what? This can be copyrighted? This garbage? Are you fucking kidding me? The moment you start copywriting opinions, it's the moment humanity will fall apart, man. I fucking hate this bullshit. You can make art and copyright it, but fucking copywriting opinion, are you fucking kidding me? This is where it breaks my straws, for sure, man. It breaks all my metal straws that I have. And it really sucks, man. Oh, it's the music. Oh, I'm sorry. It's the music. He's talking about the music. I wonder what kind of music that is. It's kind of funny.
And of course, the Red Pill movement reinforces that, thereby inflicting their members with yet another handicap. People go into these meat market apps and swipe through people based on looks alone. People know this, so they do everything they can to present their most dressed up, inauthentic self, and even adorn themselves with status symbols to attract people. What a surefire way to find people who don't want you for you, but a facade, a mask, along with whatever you might have. The picture of the food on the menu as a...
Yeah, we kind of try to live like gods right now, but it's... If you live that sort of lifestyle, you're an idiot. You have to not forget, society exists, alright? And it is a facade, it is a lie. That it's enjoyable, but you're not supposed to play into that. Why is my opponent's hand empty? What the fuck happened to you, my friends? LOL? Also, this card is awesome. Why am I not using that? It's crazy. Yeah, fuck your facade, guys. But most importantly, wild growth. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I don't like people being fake and not having self-esteem whatsoever. Because if you put too much makeup, again, you're trying to aim for a 10. 10 out of 10. You're a loser. If you're aiming for 1 out of 10, you're very stupid and annoying. Maybe not a loser, because like you pick a very easy competition to win, which is like being the least attractive person ever. And it's a tough, man. It's a tough one. I don't even know what to think about it, to be honest. But I do have this bad boy. Boom. 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 Eat it. Destroy. Holy shit. Get out of here, priest. Holy shit, he wanted to waste my time, bro. That's some cool stuff. There's still so many cool things you can do in video games, bro. If you want sanity content, if you work too hard, maybe not just start ranting. You can just play video games instead. And squirt out a little bit of a ranty rant of like, actually, I hate Steven Crowder. He inspiring me to make a video against this, that, and this for those. No, I'm not saying it's a bad video, to be honest. It is what it is.
Words and ideas.
This actually is pretty powerful, but I don't expect this to be actually beaten by himself. He's placing a pretty high bar. On top of that, Steven Crowder gets most of the credits, basically. The end credit scene where he gives... actually, I made this video because Steven Crowder had this meltdown with his relationship, and it's like, yeah, I guess it worked. I don't care about Steven Crowder, but now everyone's giving him credit, so congratulations. I have nothing else to say, unless you have questions. See you guys next time. 1 hour, boys. I still squeezed it in. Also, just to give you guys good vibes, I will give you guys this, alright? The juice. This is what you need to see more in life, alright? And not some fucking dude with a beard telling you how to feel, you know, about certain topics. Fuck that shit, bro. First, find positivity, and then we can talk about stuff, alright? Double check if you're in a positive position to accept new ideas. That's what closed-mindedness is not having positivity, positive emotions. And you immediately know that you're gonna either end up as an empty person or a very bitter one. Alright, bye.